Wait a minute, no resale. Works for me. What's good everyone on YouTube, it's me again, back with another video, and today we're going back to Nike, and it seems like Nike wants to hand me more W's when it comes to raffles, because this is another shoe that I won a raffle for. It seems like I just don't seem to win raffles very often, and it seems like it just wants to hand me raffle wins for the same shoe. And for today's video, we're taking a look at the second iteration between Nike, Sacai, and Clot. And this shoe is actually based off the Kiss of Death colorway of the Air Max 1, but the 2013 pair, which was a lot more grey and like bluish in tone. And before we go any further, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you don't miss a video I upload. And check out my 100th video super subscriber special. That's a giveaway that I'm running once I hit 1,000 subs. You need to sub to the channel and comment on that video. And without further ado, let's get back into it. And today we'll be talking about the Nike LD Waffle, Clot and Sacai in the Kiss of Death 2013 colorway. Let's just go with that. And starting off with the box, we've got this orange Nike Lab style box with Nike written in gloss text on the top. But then adding to the sort of old school aesthetic, we've got this old school sort of Nike swoosh that starts here, but it actually just starts with a and then we go to the side and it reads Ike. So we get Nike all together. And because it's a Nike Lab box, it's a nice traditional shelf style. I don't know what I'm doing. Once the box is open, we actually have this first layer of paper, and this layer is triple branded with Clot, Nike, and Sacai sort of printed. So we've got the logo here, as well as Nike, and I'm pretty sure Sacai is written somewhere here. Then the shoes were individually wrapped with a secondary layer of plain paper. The shoes were stuffed with pretty standard packing paper. And attached on one of the shoes, we actually get a set of extra, sort of like baby blue laces. And on the shoe itself, we got a pair of grey and light grey laces sort of laced together. So you've got the option of switching out laces. You want to do one lace, two lace, or if you're mad, maybe you can even try 3 laces. But there you go. And we move to the label, it reads Nike LD Waffle SCNS. If everyone knows what the NS stands for, let me know, because that's not actually on the other waffle colorway. But we know S stands for Sacai and the C stands for Clot, so that's fairly straightforward. So, the retail price on these were actually about $10 more expensive, at least in Australia, compared to the original waffle pair that came out with them. But from Juice Hong Kong, it ended up being close to like 300 and something. I'll find the exact figure and put the conversion here. And to be honest, I don't know why they upcharged this pair, because if I have to be honest, I don't think Hyperfuse is nicer quality or a nicer material compared to like suedes. But I guess I'm not a Nike manufacturer, so maybe Hyperfuse is really hard to do. Not sure. But it's, yeah, I don't know. We'll just get into the shoe. So without further ado, let's have a look at the shoes. And here we are, the Nike LD Waffle Sacai Clot in the Kiss of Death 2013 colorway. So I went into a lot of more detail about the silhouette itself in my original review, if you want to check that out. For this one, I'm going to just try and focus in on like the things they've changed. So for this particular shoe, compared to the other Clot collaboration, instead of using a sort of ripstop nylon or ripstop material that's similar to like an Element 87, they've moved back to a particular traditional sort of mesh, which is quite porous. And probably the biggest change that needs to be addressed is the fact that all the layers minus these 2 pieces at the back of the heel are actually Hyperfuse layers. So the toe box, the lace holes, the swoosh itself, as well as the first layer of the heel are all just Hyperfuse materials. And we've got like grays and blues and lighter blues, just sort of adding layers to the shoe itself. Then moving to the tongue, this is where we have another little interesting accent of color. We've actually got this bright green secondary tongue that sits behind the main tongue. And this bright green is actually present on the original pair of the Air Max 1, but it's like just on the lace holes. And it's nice that they've managed to honor that kind of part of the colorway in this shoe with a pretty subtle use of it on the back of the tongue. Well, not the back of the tongue, the secondary tongue. Then taking a look at the swooshes, for this shoe, the 3M swoosh is actually the top layer, whereas on the other Kiss of Death colorway, it was the bottom layer. So this dark navy swoosh is actually 3M reflective, so when you hit the shoe with flash, you'll get a nice pop to it. And then one thing I noticed in the bottom swoosh is there's almost like this small little like ostrich print on it. And this ostrich print, it's actually not present on the 2013 pair. It's actually present on the 2006 or the 2021 retro. And it's present on the collar area of the shoe itself. So I find it interesting that they've put the ostrich print on this particular colorway, whereas it was found on the other colorway. But I'm not complaining, it's just something I noticed, but that's there. And to quickly shoot through the last few things, we've got the Nike Sacai Clot branding on the heel, as well as on the insole. And then we've got it on the tongue, and then we've got the traditional double lacing through the lace holes. Then moving to the midsole, we've got the traditional dual laid midsole with like the shelf jutting out. And one thing I really want to give props to is the paint splatter that they've used on this midsole, I think looks really nice. It's quite subtle, and I think it adds quite a lot to the shoe. And just the dual tone actually makes the shoe look quite nice and doesn't really sort of emphasize how thick the midsole actually is. Then moving to the outsole, just like the other Kiss of Death colorway, we've got gum rubber, and I feel like gum rubber can really add a lot to a shoe, and it really helps tie the shoe together. So that pretty much covers the main features of this particular shoe. In terms of sizing, I would say these fit, they feel like they fit the tiniest bit tighter than the last pair, but I'd probably say you just stick with the same size. So for me, that is true to size. And yeah, there's not much more to say about it. So I'm typically a US 9.5 for most of my sneakers. I bought these in a 9.5 and they fit me great. And if you've been enjoying today's video so far, be sure to leave a like down below and let me know what you guys think of this shoe. And actually, which waffle would you choose between the Kiss of Death colorways? I'm a little bit torn as to which one I like more. Now, moving into comfort, the LD Waffle is actually quite a comfortable shoe. Even though it doesn't use any fancy foam, the fact that the foam is so thick and like you're sort of standing on a huge shelf of it actually makes it so that when you're walking around, it's quite a soft ride. This pretty big heel sweep helps sort of rock forward. And then this upper itself, the hyperfused material, doesn't seem to be that breathable, but like the mesh itself on the important areas like the toe box and the side panels is very breathable. So overall, I would just say this feels like other LD waffles, and other LD waffles are pretty comfortable. Now I get into the part of the video where I talk about my opinions of this shoe, and I'm really torn as to like which Sacai Kiss of Death colorway I like more. The orange colorway is definitely more of a statement piece, and I feel like it falls much more in line with what made me kind of like the LD Waffle in the first place, which was this interesting silhouette with extremely loud and crazy colorways. But for some reason, even though this is a subdued colorway, which I've actually criticized other Sacai waffles for having subdued colorways, there's something about it that I just am quite drawn to. While it is subdued, it is utilizing the layers very traditionally, by making sure that like there are different shades of gray and like, you know, accents of like baby blue on this shoe, as well as like the interesting paint splatter and the dual colored midsole. I do think while I would say this is definitely sort of subdued and maybe I should be hating on it just like I hate on like the Fragment colorway, at least with the Fragment they didn't really add any panels except for maybe the white swoosh, while this is making an effort to make sure that no two panels are really the same. So we've got like lots of grays, sort of lighter grays, baby blues, and dark navies to sort of break up everything. And even like the branding is done in like this bright green, which really adds like a pop to it. I would just say like this to my opinion is probably the best subtle take of the LD Waffle. And while I think the bright orange pair is like the more statement piece, I almost feel like this is the pair that you can just sort of throw on without thinking about it, and it will just sort of like fit into an outfit quite well. So that's sort of where I stand on this, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So with that, we've come to the end of another video. So I'd love to hear what you guys think of the Nike Sacai LD Waffle Clot collaboration Kiss of Death 2.0 thingamajig. And out of all the waffles that are currently coming out, what are some of your favorites? So honestly, for myself, I really do think the Clot waffles have been the best. I would say maybe the undercover pairs are probably like the second best sort of collaboration. And to be honest, the fragment pair really doesn't get me, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section down below. And if you're into more dance, sneakers, vlogs, that sort of thing, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Time for the on feet. I'll catch you guys in another video. People straight disrespecting Edison right now. Shoes are still fire.